All right, so guys, we have a question on assignment problem, and we are asked to find the optimal cost or the total minimum cost for this question. So we want to use the assignment problem approach to assign A, B, C, D to P, Q, R, S. So what we do in the assignment problem is that an individual is to be assigned to a particular task. So one individual is to be attached to a particular task. So let's see all of the steps that we are going to follow to get the optimal solutions. So the first step we have is that we have to use the row operation method. So we locate the smallest number in each of the rows that we have and subtract it from the rows that we have. So for example, in the first row, the smallest number there is 10. We have 10 to be the smallest number, so we are going to subtract 10 from all of the first row. The same thing, we'll move to the second row, which is B, and locate the smallest number and subtract the smallest number from all of the numbers that we have. We do the same thing for row 3. We also do the same thing for row 4. So by doing that, we have our table. So we do the same thing for we use column operation for as our step 2. So by column operation, we are going to use the same approach we use in row operation. So we check all of the columns and locate the smallest number and subtract all of the columns, the respective columns from their respective numbers. So for example, column 1 is 0, so we are going to subtract everything with 0, and you notice that everything is still the same thing. You go to the second column too, you do the same thing. Go to the third column, you do the same. Go to the third column, you do the same thing, and finally the last column as well, you do the same thing. So the first two step is you do the row operation. Thereafter, you do the column operation. Now we proceed to step 3, which is the assignment of the problem. So to do the assignment of the problem, we first locate all those rows that have 1 0. So you ignore any row that has 2 0 first. Then you locate all of the rows that have 1 0. So you notice that it is only row 4 that has 1 0. So because row 4 has 1 0, you are going to assign row 4. So row 4 will be assigned, and every corresponding 0 in the column of that row 4 will be cancelled. There's going to be an image indicating that aspect. So there is going to be row 4 will be assigned, and every corresponding 0 will be striked, or it will be what's cancelled. So we have that in the next slide. So you notice you can see clearly that the I'm using a red pen to indicate the zeros. So you see those ones that I striked. Row 4 is assigned to P. So D is assigned to P. So every other corresponding 0 that we have in the column of row 4 is going to be striked down. So now thereafter, you notice that when you go back to row 1 is now having 1 0. Initially we're having 2 zeros, which is 0071. But after that first one has been striked, we are going to be left with 1 0. So we'll be left with 071. So you move to, we can now do another assignment. So our second assignment is going to be for A and Q. So A is going to be assigned to Q. So the last thing we do is we are we are going to do other assignments. So you notice that two assignments has been done already. So two people have been given jobs. So it's remaining two other people that needed to be given their jobs. Now, when you look at C, you see that when you look at B is having only 1 0 left. One has been striked, so we are left with only 1 0. So we are going to assign that one to. So we say that B is assigned to R since we are left with 1 0 there. So we've done three assignments. So it's remaining one last person to be given a job, and of course, which is going to be um which is going to be D. Sorry, which is going to be C. Now, before going back to C, you notice that we have in the column of C, there is 1 0 down. So you are going to strike that 0 down from the rule. The rule says that any column, any row that you have 1 0, you are going to cancel out the corresponding 0 that you have in the column of that row. So, and you see we have 1 0 down, so that was why I strike that 0. Then lastly, we move to C and T. So C, we have just 1 0 left there, and we are going to do the assignment. So the assignment of that one, C is assigned to T. Now the problem demands us to look for an optimal solution. So to find an optimal solution, what you are going to do is you add up all of those, the initial values of A, the initial value of B, the initial value of C, and initial value of D. You add everything together to get the minimum, the total minimum cost, which is also known as the optimal cost or the optimal solution. So that is that for that question. Since every member of the group has been given each job, then you can say that the problem is feasible, or there is an optimal solution. Thank you.